Hello there, magic monsters. Welcome to the stream. So, what am I doing right now? I'm importing sounds. I'm importing sounds from the Battle Sound Library Magic and Melee Fantasy RPG SEO titled Battle Sounds Library because there's going to be some sounds going on today, maybe. We'll see. I don't pre-plan these things, not much. I was thinking I was going to stream earlier, like maybe 11. Oh, is my mic? My mic just peaked. I'm sorry. Jeez. I was thinking I might stream earlier, around 11, but then I just didn't wake up. Do tell me if my mic is way too loud. In my videos, my voice is too low, so I learned to get my mouth really close up here. But then I just saw the mic audio mix here peaking, so I just don't know. Anyways, you tell me. Here we go. So I've been working on this projectile system, and let me show you where it is. Let's talk about where it is. First of all, did people? I did post on Discord, right? Yes. Okay. Good. All right. So let's talk. Let's talk about what. Am I back? Are we back? Am I back? Okay. That was weird. I must have pulled something. So extra apologies for all that. Anyways, boy, what a day. All right, so this is what we got going on here. So this is a projectile system. I'm going to show you the demo scene as it is now. So we got this projectile. This one hits 3 times. It might hit the wall too and then destroys. It hits things 3 times, and that one gets destroyed because it hit the back wall. So there's that one. You can hit tab here or click this button up here to change the missile type on. So it's changed to this forward missile. Now we just have a forward missile that just goes forward and smashes into things. You can show the trajectory. So what's this trajectory? This trajectory is just a red line showing where it will shoot. If you switch to the magic missile, you've got a trajectory that is on the target but changes as it gets closer. So if I move closer, then you get the target is just going to be visible. There's also one that's added for the missile itself. So now there's multiple target overlays, and you can see that right here in the hierarchy. So that's what we got here. Doesn't seem like much, right? It's not much. It's just a missile and a forward missile. Come on, man. That's lame-o. But what the system really is, what it really is, we got our demo player here, and we have our projectile spawner. Our demo player is a projectile spawner. Anything could be a projectile spawner. A cannon, an ant, this little tube of neosporin could spawn projectiles if you squeeze it hard enough. Anything can be a projectile spawner. So you have your spawn position for the spawn transform. That's where it will spawn from. In this case, if we zoom in here and focus on it, we got the tip of this little stick. The tip of the stick. We have our target. That's something you would have to set, but currently we're setting it to our target position of the demo target. Of course, your logic will choose your logic. Yeah, it seems like my voice. I'm going to lower this. Nobody's talking, so I can't lower it. Why can't I lower it? Filters. Nope, not filters. Properties. Nope, not that. Advanced properties. I already have. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. There we go. I see. I had this set to 10 decibels. And maybe people thought I was quiet. I don't know. Okay, I've lowered it to 6 decibels, and it's no longer peaking to the red. So you can tell me if it's still crazy loud. Maybe I'll lower it a little bit more. All right, there's 5. All right. All right. So yeah, so the that's the target. Then we've got, different projectiles that we could have on this spawner. A lot of projectile spawners will only spawn one thing. The Neosporin tube, this projectile spawner will spawn one thing, Neosporin. And what a magical substance that is. But in this case, we've got our 2 here. And then we've got some options like always show trajectory and show trajectory. So if we actually press play here and we pay attention to these bools, well, now they're down here. They're down here and they're shade. We can turn that on. That's basically turning on our always show trajectory, and then we can get closer and see the trajectory. And we can also do that by pressing T. So temporarily, you can bind that to whatever you want, really. And then you can always show the trajectory. Now, the trajectory in this case does show for the magic missile. It doesn't show for the forward missile. These just the properties of the things, and let's get into that. What the hell is a magic missile? Magic missile is a basic projectile. What the heck are you talking about? Basic projectile. Forward missile is also a basic projectile. What is a basic projectile? Basic projectile is a projectile. The projectile class itself, in mono behavior, has all these goodies on it. Let's close our Mr. AI or Miss AI. I say Mr. AI because, well, whatever Gen I am. So it's a mono behavior. We have our projectile data. It's going to have common projectile data. Now, all of this is a caveat here. All of this is something you can override. You can create your own projectile data that handles the data and discovers what the data is based on your game. Then it's got behaviors, different behaviors, movement behavior, collision behavior, destroy behavior, all these different behaviors. Some options here. And that's the projectile. So a basic projectile is just a projectile that does a few other things. We're going to have our play launch sound and apply modifiers, although I haven't touched these yet. So honestly, none of these are being used. So a basic projectile does nothing right now, but it's available for you to override. Now, that's great. Now, as we said, we have our projectile data and these behaviors. So in the playground data objects, we've got our projectile data. And the basic projectile data just has speed of 10, damage of 0, fast projectile speed of 20. I don't know if you noticed, but the speed of the magic missile is slower than the speed of the forward missile. And that's what controls that. So if I change this to 1, oops, not 0. We want it to actually move. Okay, we'll change it to 2 because that's what I pressed. So now it goes slowly. So you can change this object and, dictate how fast or slow the things go. So if you change it to 50, then it can go 50. You can change it to 500, and then it's just ridiculous. And and apparently it will miss even colliding sometimes. So it's just going too fast at that point. But we'll go back to 20. So those are all scriptable objects. And so there you go. And now if we go back to our magic missile, we also have our movement behavior. So you notice the speed was actually in the projectile data. And why is the speed in the data and not in the movement? Because speed is not movement, right? Speed is how fast it moves, but how it moves is really determined by the movement behavior. Now, movement behavior might have a modifier for speed. You could easily add a modifier that has a projectile slow and quick and slow and quick or whatever you want. So I've got 2 movement behaviors right now. Home in on target and move forward. Move forward is a movement behavior, and movement behavior, this is going to be the most basic movement behavior, is a projectile behavior. All of these projectile behaviors have all these shared methods here. So you can, I'm sure you recognize all of these: collisions, destroys, enables, disables, all those things. Ticks for updates, late tick, fixed tick, etc., etc. Some common methods here to help organize things. And then in our movement behavior, this is the basic movement forward. This is a scriptable object, so you can create one via the menu. And then it does basically on launch, it does a look at. So it looks at the projectile spawner. That's the player in this case. Spawn forward position. So it's a property on that right here. It's just a spawn position plus the forward. So you can see where these get built in. Spawn transform dot position. Blah 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 blah. All that nice stuff. And then on the tick, it just calls move, pressing the projectile. And then on move, we're going to say transform translate. Now, you might say, Mr. Magic Pig, I have a pause in my game. My game pauses. Well, that's fine. You can still pause. All you have to do is create a my movement behavior, which inherits from movement behavior, and then make an override here on the move, add a pause bool, add your logic, and then don't move when it's paused. So that's the beauty of this, because you can create your own logic that builds upon this or modifies it, or just use it, either way. And then the homing movement behavior inherits from movement behavior. So this basically everything here is already in here unless we override something. So in this case, we are overriding the tick, and we have our calculate local direction little bit here. And what we're doing is choosing the direction to the target. Update this a little bit, and gain our rotation. Setting our rotation rather to our look rotation, and then doing the rotation. Yeah, so gain the rotation we want, and then setting that that rotation. So there we go, and then we do the base tick as well, which, if you remember correctly, the base tick is move. So I didn't want to redo that code, so I just hit base.tick, and that code right here with this rotation speed and rotation angle is what handles, or what controls rather, the movement of this to rotate. And if I you can angle your thing up so it goes in all sorts of directions. So you can see how those are all being handled by that little homing movement code. But if we go to the fast one, then it just goes straight. Magic, right? Yeah, it's not magic. It's not magic. It's Magic Pig Games. So next, we have on our missile, we have our collision behavior, because this is all puzzle pieces or Lego pieces. The idea is actually, let's explain this. We got our magic missile right now. I'm actually going to go to our prefab for the magic missile. Magic missile right now has the home and on target movement behavior. Let's change this to move forward. And now it moves forward. So you can change this at any time, and then it will change its behavior. You don't change all the other stuff. It's still going to do the same collision behavior, the same destroy behavior, the same basic projectile data. All of those are going to stay the same. You're just changing one thing, just move differently. These are also things you can change at runtime. So you could have a system in place that, let's say you're shooting an arrow, and usually an arrow just goes boo like that, but you want a magic arrow that homes in or something like that. Well, you can change that at runtime and modify the actual behavior of the projectile at runtime as well. You can do that, I believe, during the middle of the flight too, if you really want to. So we got our collision behavior. Basic got hit particle, and I've made some other ones where they bounce. So all these really are different scripts, and you can just create your own scripts, and then they show up. So again, if we go back to our projectile here, we'll do our magic missile. Actually, let's do our forward missile. Maybe magic missile. I'm going to first change the destroy one. So right now we destroy after 3 hits. Let's see. There's many ways of doing this. Okay, we're gonna do the okay. Let's take it back. We're gonna do the forward missile, and on the forward missile, the collision behavior is going to be bounce times 5. So now if I select my forward missile, we're gonna do that, and it's going to hopefully bounce. Is it not bouncing? Did I not change it? I did change it, right? Oh, because it's being destroyed. So if you want it to bounce, then you need to remove the destroy because it's still calling the destroy behavior. There we go. So now it's bouncing around all sorts of places. They do get destroyed, though, I believe, after 5 bounces. But these ones are probably going off into infinity and beyond. So instead, if we change our movement behavior to our home and on target, now they'll do that, but they'll keep bouncing, trying to hit the target. So that's fun, right? That's fun. We're having fun. We also have this one. Got hit, bounce, spawn, magic missile. Should probably do the homing on target too, just to keep it in the play area here. So now after 5, it will do a null reference exception. But all these magic missiles are here now, so that's weird. Well, I'm not sure what's going on there, but you know what I mean. Anyways, let me reset all this because we don't really want the forward missile to not be a forward missile. Base got hit and destroy. Here we have another destroy. Destroy and spawn magic missile. Press play. Oh, we're on the magic missile. All right, forward missile. There we go. Still doing a null reference, but we are spawning the magic missile. Let's solve that null reference. But this one basically says, hey, when you destroy it and then spawn a magic missile. So what is this doing? This is a script that's inheriting from destroy behavior. We're overriding our various things on launch. We're saying spawned equals false. Doing trigger enter, collision enter, overriding all those to destroy. Do destroy and spawn. And let's figure out what this null reference is. I'm not sure what that is. It's embarrassing. That's what that is. Screen point. Camera. So it's either the projectile spawner or the camera. It's probably the projectile spawner or one of these. I know why. Because I did modify some code here. Now we need to pass the projectile spawner in. So when we do this here, do destroy and spawn next, projectile base, blah, 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 instantiate, projectile base, projectile, get component projectile. So we're going to say projectile base dot project. No, we have a. I think we have a spawner. Yes, I think we have a set method for this. Set projectile spawner. That is the obvious choice for it, isn't it? It is, if I do say so myself. But we don't need that. We're just going to say from this. We're going to do projectile dot projectile spawner, and the problem is that we don't pass that in. So let's do that. Let's pass that in. Projectile, and we'll pass that in right here. Projectile, and spawn new projectile. Why is that? Oh, we have a this projectile. Okay, this projectile project. Okay, there we go. So we just need to pass the spawner in. So we explicitly say what the spawner is. There we go. So we are spawning, by the way, first of all, I think my forward missile, yeah, we need to just move forward. Okay. My forward missile is moving forward, spawns a magic missile, which then follows the target that's assigned to the spawner of the thing that shot the forward missile. So it's fun. It's fun. You can do crazy things with this. All right. So that's that. And then we have, so you can get your different movement behaviors, get your different collision behaviors. What does it do on collide? Does it cause damage? Does it check to see if it's the right thing? Does it pass through if it's the wrong layer, etc.? Destroy behavior, etc. I haven't done this visual effect handler, which I think I might just remove because I'm not sure what exactly to do with that. Audio handler, that's why I was importing the sound earlier for the none of you who are here. And then trajectory behavior. Although the audio handler, it's hard to do the audio on the stream because I can't hear my own audio very well on the stream, because otherwise I have to wear headphones or the sound gets picked up by the microphone and it's awkward and weird. And then trajectory. Oh, we didn't talk about the trajectory behavior. So trajectory behavior is something that it's a slightly different from the others, actually. Whereas the trajectory behavior is a projectile behavior like the others. However, it also has these extra things: display pre-launch and display post-launch. So oftentimes when you have a trajectory, think Angry Birds or something, you want to show the trajectory before you actually launch the projectile. And if that's the case, I'm being shown an ad right now. But I think not everybody gets the ads. And if that's the case, then you want to see the trajectory. But sometimes you only want the trajectory to show when it's already launched. So you want to see it where it's going. So that's why we have this trajectory. And then we have different trajectories which override or inherit from trajectory behavior and then do different things. So this is a trajectory active overlay, which has all these variables for distances and opacity and color and all that stuff. All these nice other properties. And it essentially shows an overlay trajectory. It's a fair amount of code for that, but that's what it does, and it does it decently well. But we have other things. We have our line forward one, which is just a line that goes forward. Line renderer right here. Create line renderer. And for that, if we go into our projectiles, we can look at our forward missile. That uses this line forward 1 meter. And you can change this to be, 5 meters or whatever. But what we can also do, oops, magic missile. There we go. 5 meters. You can change the color as well to something else. Since I already had this launched, it didn't change. Let's see. How do we change it? Wait. Is that why? No. It must be part of the code. Let's see. Yeah, see. Line color. Is it not used? It should be. Oh, because it's already set the color. Once it's set the color, it's set the color on the create. It didn't update the color. So we could fix that, I suppose. There might be a reason to change the color in the tick here. Set line renderer position, and then we can say set line color, projectile spawner. I don't know if we need the projectile spawner for this, but I'm doing it anyways. Call me Jimmy. So let's see. Let's actually save this material as well. We'll cache it. So we're going to do private material. We'll call this actually line renderer material. Be more explicit about it. And then here we're going to say line renderer material dot color equals line color, right? And line color is going to be set by this. All right. And we'll make this an expression. Or not, whatever. Okay. Let's see if it works. All right, so we got unassigned variable. Oh, because I never actually signed the line material. Duh. So, line material render equals line render dot material, and then we'll just change this to be that, and call it a day. All right. There we go. Ooh, look, it didn't work at all. Interesting. All right. Well, that's interesting. This sounds like a plan for the AI. Let's quickly talk to our AI. I think I have a hunch of what actually is going on, but let me ask the AI anyways. In my create line render method, the color is not set properly, or perhaps in set line color. Oh, I'm initializing it twice? Really? Oh. So it's saying do it like this. Line render dot material equals new that color line color, and then assign it backwards. That's not what I was actually thinking. So I guess in this case, perhaps if it does work, if it does work, then the AI did save me some time. So now you can easily update the color at any time at runtime. And you can update the width length of it. So we'll keep it to 5, and then you can update the start width 0.1. I don't know what this does actually. I don't think this does anything. Let's see. Does it do anything? Oh, it does. We're just not doing it. We're not updating it at runtime. Okay. Let's fix that too quickly while we're doing it. So we're going to have to do a set line width projectile spawner. Again, I don't think we need the projectile spawner here, but we're going to do it anyway. And then for the width, we'll just set that here. And then because of that, we can actually just, we're going to remove these now. We don't need them. And so in this case, now it's become a problem. So now we can actually, for the set line width, we can just set that right here. And then we don't need to do the color down there, but how's everyone doing? Don't forget to like and subscribe. There's only one thumbs up on this whole thing. Oh my lord. All right, so we have that now. So now if I change this, we can up that to be something bigger, smaller, all that stuff. So 0 to 1, and then you can do whatever floats your boat. It is interesting though. It seems like the line, is it angled? Is it just based on? Like if we zoom in, is this a 3D line when I go over here? It is angled. Look at that. It flips right there. I don't see it in the game view, but in the scene view I do. Interesting. Anyways, I don't expect many people will have a line like that, but yeah, to each their own. 0.05, 0.05. All right, so there you go. That's our trajectory line forward. Now, what I really wanted to do today was audio, but I already said I'm not going to do that because I can't hear it. So, abort. But what I do want to do is create a new projectile. I want to make a couple more projectile types. And yeah, so I'm going to do it. You can't stop me. I'm going to check my phone, make sure my friends aren't messaging me saying how cool I am or something like that. Ask me if I want to hang out and go down to the peach pit. Hey, trivia time. Where's the peach pit from? All right, so I want to do a one that like shoots multiple projectiles out, and I'm going to use a different projectile. I'm not going to use this missile anymore. I'm going to use a new little projectile. We're going to do a empty object. We're going to call this a fireball. Z. Ooh, I got somebody to say something. No, you're wrong. Here's another hint. Do 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 do. Ch ch. Peach pit. It's pop culture. That I mean, technically yes, but that's not the answer we're looking for. And there's no prizes. No prizes at all. All right, so this is going to have a, well, let's just create a sphere for now, just to visualize it. Let's raise this up. All right, and this sphere is going to be a ball. And it's going to be smaller. And then let's add onto this ball a particle system. And this is going to be fire. And I don't know. I really don't like setting up particle systems. Should I just install my own particle system and just use one of those? Probably. All right. All right. I hope you all use other people's particles instead of my particles. I know that might not be the thing to say. But the reality is my particles are outdated. I'm not a particle publisher. You know? You know what I mean? I'm not a particle publisher. I have particles because sometimes you need them, but they're not the best. There's better particles out there on the asset store. So if you are not someone who makes particles yourself and you need particles, get the other ones. You can use mine for prototyping. That's what I do. If you just need something real quick and you don't want to deal with something, but otherwise, I think just there's some really good ones out there. So, okay, I'm importing stuff. Look, this is a lot of stuff. Don't import just everything. We talk about this on the Discord. People say, oh, everything broke. I installed one of the monsters. Now everything broke. Look at all this stuff. These are going to be overwritten. This is a warning thing. See? Deselect everything. Only bring in the stuff that you actually want to bring in. In this case, it's really just this. I don't even need the demo. That's the only thing I want. So I'm only going to bring in that because I don't want to overwrite stuff. So be careful when you import stuff. You know? Never trust an AI. Alright, so now instead of this fire, let's just delete that. I'm going to go into here and get some particles. What do we need? Fireball. Fireball. All right, let's just add that. Set the position right because my prefabs is not. Oh, look, that's so much better. All right. Do we even need this now? Nope, we don't. But you know what we do need? We need the collider. But I think I'm gonna just copy this and just paste it onto this. And we'll make it smaller. Okay. Maybe 0.25. Okay. And so we can delete this. So now we have a fireball, and it does fireball stuff. We can add a trail, though, because it needs a trail, right? And smoke, maybe. So let's see. What do we got here? Firing, blah, blah, blah. Those are particles. We have components. Fire ember's tail. Add that. So now we have, oops, now in our particle moves, we got a tail. Simple enough. And then smoke. Smoke rising. Number 1. I don't see any smoke. Let's do smoke rising number 2. I still don't see no smoke. Because it's missing its material. I still don't see no smoke. I should see smoke. Do you see smoke? I don't see any smoke. No. I mean, maybe we don't need smoke. I wanted smoke. Really don't need smoke. Why are all these missing? This is the thing that... This is not missing. It's... Oh, there it is. Alright, whatever. We'll leave it there then. Oh, why are these off on the Z? Alright. Alright, so now we have our fireball. And it should go forward, back, and smoke and all that stuff. We'll keep it there. Make a prefab out of it. So it's going to be like these. We do need it to be a projectile, so we'll need to add a projectile on it. For now, we'll make just a basic projectile. So we're just going to copy this component and paste it as new. So we have a basic projectile. It's a fireball. Done. Yep. So we have one fireball. Delete that. Let's set this up so we can just quickly test it. Demo player. We will add to this fireball. Press play. Switch to the fireball. And it's not working. What do we do? I didn't change anything on the fireball, though. That's probably why. Let's see. Oh. Still recovering from my trip to Unite. Why? Wait a minute. Why was it doing that? Why is it spying a magic missile? It should be spying a fireball, right? Oh, I know why. So we have a destroy and spawn magic missile. So let's just fix that because that wasn't supposed to be. That was just supposed to be destroy on trigger. For the fireball, we're going to destroy on trigger or collision. And what we're doing now is we are colliding with the player or something like that. So let's see. Our fireball is in layer default. Our other layer is projectile. We didn't change the projectile. Yes, change children. Apply all. Boom. That was the issue. The fireball was in the wrong layer. Alright. Alright, it's still being interacted with, but we have sometimes a fireball going. But why is it interacting with it? Let's see. Let's look at our fireball. It should be, all the children should be projectile. And none of these should have any colliders on them. The only thing that has a collider is this, and that's probably has a wrong setting or something. The forward missile has a collider as well, but it is a trigger, and we have a rigid body. All right. There we go. My bad. Still colliding with it. Still colliding. Oh, now it's got the rigid body action going on here. Do we need that rigid body? Let's see. Well, we need the rigid body to collide with stuff, but I'm not sure why it's colliding with itself here. Unless player should all be actor. Maybe that's why. Interesting. All right, well, the only option here is to say what's it hitting, basically. So this is on trigger enter. Log. Collider is that. And let's see what it's colliding with. Let's select the right one. Whoops. Fireball. Hit collider is cube 1. Alright. Why do we have cube 1 here? Why do we have a collider on cube 1? We shouldn't have a collider on those things. The only thing that should have the collider is the thing that we want, the whole body. If we want a hitbox, it's an entirely different thing. I like using hitboxes versus colliders, but that's me. All right, so now we have our fireball firing off. The fireball does need a rigid body, though, in order to detect things, but we can turn off use gravity. Weird, though, that it's now a very different thing, isn't it? Why is it different? It looks to be growing, too. Is it because... Let's see. Let's look at our particles. Pre-warm. Let's do that. We need them to be pre-warmed. That means they won't grow over time. And this one looked to be... Let's make it 50 over distance. How about that? Save. Alright, so now they're pre-warmed. That... The tail isn't happening at all. Is it the smoke? Yeah, it's the smoke. So if we want more smoke, basically, in this case, we could do, since we know it's going to be moving, or, you know, you could do some over time, but you could also do 30 over distance, so that if it does stop moving, it still has some smoke. Whoops. That's still not right. What's going on? Let's see. Let's see. Turn off the smoke entirely. Well, that's not pre-warmed. Maybe that's why. Fire Ember's tail. World space. Make it more. Molten ball tail. Distance is 8. Make that. It's also world space. Distance. All of these should be happening like that, but I don't see it happening, right? Interesting. So we are going to need a new destroy method, because right now it gets destroyed and all the particles get destroyed with it. And we don't necessarily want those particles to get destroyed. We want those particles to be around in the scene until they naturally disappear. It's still not doing what it's supposed to be doing, right? Right. So we look at our fireball live. It does not appear to be doing the things it is meant to be doing with all the tail. What was weird is it seemed that when it didn't have a rigid body on it. Oh. Yeah, that's why. It's because it has a rigid body on it. Interesting. Okay, so let us do, what are we going to do? How are we going to solve this? What's the setup, the proper setup then? I need a rigid body on it, but I don't need the rigid body on the particles. I need the rigid body on the actual object. So this could be a place where we're a little sphere here, and we turn off the mesh renderer and make the sphere smaller. Whoops, not that. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And then we add onto this a rigid body. And then on the fireball itself, I don't know what happens when we turn off the sphere collider here. Let's just see what this does. All right, do we get the collisions? We don't get the collisions though. Oh, we get a collision with this, but not the other things. So we do collide with, can't aim, with the bad guy here, the target, but not the other things. Oh, the answer, by the way, Beverly Hills 90210, Peach Pit. It's where all the kids used to hang out in the first season or second season or however many seasons they would go down to the Peach Pit in Beverly Hills. The Peach Pit. It's a restaurant, like a diner type place. And all the kids would eat pie. All those Beverly Hills 90210 kids would eat pie. Peach pie. Anyways, I'm tired today. So what's the setup for fireballs? I suppose in a way we just need a script to go up here and be like, hey, I got hit. Because it's the projectile, I believe, that does the got hit. That's an event function. So what we could do instead, let's because if let's copy this. Let's move this down to the sphere. Right? And then we turn it off here. What happens then? I think it's not going to work right. It's not going to move the right thing. Yeah. So it does move something. So you see the got hit because it's moving something, but it's not moving the actual projectile. It's moving the sphere of the projectile. So what we need to do then this is annoying. Blah blah blah. Dead air. I think I'm going over different options in my head on how I'll want to tackle this. Because things like fireballs, any projectile with particles is very common. But we need to handle this in a very easy to use, easy to understand way. Trying to think. In a way, what's the difference between a fireball and an ice ball when it comes to just the thing itself, the ball itself? Not talking about the damage or effects. Just the ball itself is just the particles. Right? That's the only difference. So, in a way, a fireball is simply a ball that has fire on it. An ice ball would be a ball that has ice on it. So, how about this? Put that here. We're going to put that in original prefab. Delete this here. So now the fireball is just a sphere. We're going to keep those there. It's actually just an empty object. And we're going to rename just to be ball particle holder. Well, we'll call it fireball. We'll keep it fireball. That's clear enough. All right, so now our particle, this is this, and projectile. Let's add something to this. We're going to add something to this on our options here. We're going to say public game object particle. And we'll do a tooltip for this one. Tooltip. This is a particle that will follow the projectile. It's optional. And then we'll say private game object particle. And I don't know if we're going to need a property for that, but I'll add it because this is the one that's in game. So in game particle. And this is going to be the prefab for the particle. So now on our launch, we'll say if particle does not equal null, then spawn particle. And we'll make it virtual. Void. Protected. And at this point, we're just going to say particle. Yeah, we can get rid of this check here. We'll do the check down here. Particle instantiate the particle transform, blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. Now, do we want to make it parent that? No, because the parent is going to be moving. So let's just stop it there. We'll press play. Well, we'll set up the fireball first, and then we'll press play. So on our fireball, we're going to add a particle fireball. And then we will press play. Oh, and it's working exactly as I wanted it to work. Is it really? Oh, it appears to be doing exactly what we wanted it to do. That's weird then. I was expecting it to not work because it's really no different than I had before, I thought, but let's see. Okay, so it's not colliding with the wall. It is colliding with the actor. It should be colliding with the wall, though. Because what's the difference between fireball and forward missile? Sphere collider with a trigger. Rigid body is kinematic, not gravity. Oh, No rigid body. There you go. That would be. That would do it, I suppose. There we go. All right, so now we got our fireball. Now we still have the issue where the particles destroy when it gets destroyed. So we want to change that. So what do we want to do? We want those to destroy sometime after the parent gets destroyed. So first, let's save our particle here. And we're going to say... Oh, we did save our particle here. Okay. Destroy. On destroy. Before we do all that, remove particle from parent structure so it isn't destroyed with the projectile. All right, and then test that real quick. That's weird. Some of it is being destroyed. Trying to. Oh, I should just use the. What's the code? The key code to pause. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong. Oops, hit the wrong one. There we go. Okay. All right, so we're looking at our fireball. Fireball has the particle fireball underneath it. Let's see what happens. They're all still there, but for some reason, all the tails went away. Do the tails go away when it changes parentage? Maybe? Does anyone know that? Nope. Oh, nope. The tail still stays there. So why? Why is it destroyed or something? It's not destroyed. We know it's still there. It just disappears when maybe we can ask ChatGPT. I have a number of particles attached as a child to a projectile. When the projectile is destroyed, I make the parent of the particles null, but the particles which are distance based suddenly disappear. Why? Hello, Twisted Liver Studio. Thanks. Thanks. When you destroy the projectile and set the projectile to null, the particle system might still be in local space. Oh. Maybe that's an issue for me then on this object. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Local world. So I suppose it's the embers that need to be in world space, right? And the tail is already in world space. World. Oh, no, that must not be it. That must not be it because only one was not already set there. No, they just disappear. That doesn't seem to be the case, chatty. Aha, see, you may have missed that part, Twisted Liver. I'm going to say your name Liver every time. Because we actually don't do that. We bring them out of a child. They are now here, and all of the children are there. They just seem to disappear. Essentially, it's going... It says, oh, you no longer have a parent, so all you other particles, boom, you're gone. You're disappeared. So I can shoot a whole bunch of them, and then all these fireball particles stay even after the hit particles go away. So it seems to have to do with the parent. What if I make the parent of this world space? Nope. Nope, that didn't help either. Okay. Hi, Travis. I won't remember that, Travis, but hello. I might remember it. There's a guy at work named Travis. He seems cool. Excuse me. I think... Yeah, what I need to do is a new destroy logic. So let's remove this. Comment that out. And since I don't want it destroyed right away, let's go to our destroy behaviors. We're going to make a new version of destroy behavior. So let's just copy this. Whoops. Paste this here. We're going to call destroy behavior in time. destroy in time. We'll just do destroy in time. So new destroy on trigger collision in time. In time. Actually, you know what? Let's just. This seems like a simple enough addition to the main one. We did that with the hits. So let's do it this public float destroy delay 0f. There we go. And tool. I don't need a tooltip for this probably, but tool. So destroy the object in destroy time. Boom. All right, let's try that. Now we're going to have to probably do some more updates because I believe it's still going to try to move the object and we don't want that. But let's just do one step at a delta time. And so fireball is going to be destroy behavior. Oh, we need to create the destroy behavior. So we'll duplicate it. We'll say 5-second delay, and we'll make this a 5-second delay. Max hits 1, and we'll bring our fireball, change our destroy behavior to the 5-second delay one, press play, get our fireball hooked up. So there you go. So it is still moving down the road, and that's the issue here. So we do need to do the disablement that Travis was hinting at with the fireball. So a couple things first. I'm going to take this fireball. I'm going to add this here back. Actually, we're not going to add that back. Discard changes. I am, but I haven't watched the announcement video yet. So I need to watch that. It's, I think I have it up. Yeah. No. I had it somewhere. But it's ready to be watched. I need to watch it. Yeah. So, okay. So now instead on this destroy logic here, we're going to do another options. We're going to do public bool. It's going to be disable behaviors on destroy equals true. On delayed destroy. So this means that if it's true and if, thank you, get Copilot. This is not quite right though. This is actually going to be doing our parent. So it's going to be projectile dot enabled. Yeah, well, I guess that part was fine. Right? Let's see if that works. All right. There we go. And do they destroy in 5 seconds? They appear to be destroyed in 5 seconds. Now, obviously, we don't want that fireball to be just still sitting there. I mean, we might, maybe that's something you want, but I don't want that. I want that fireball to go away. So we need to add a little bit more. Oh yeah, code documentation. I like to document my own code because it helps me remember and also confirm I know what the hell my code's doing. But I can see how that can be super useful to have help there. This is getting more complicated than I was hoping. All right, so we are going to do this. Let's see if this works. Save that. Make this null because I think I might remove that. Press play. Test to make sure that the trails still work. They do. All right. Then we're going to have to do a thing here. I like to keep things as simple as possible, you know? This is where the visual effect handler could come into play. Because the thing is, we got the fireball here, and we want the smoke rising to continue, but we want it to stop emitting. We want basically all of these to stop emitting, but to continue the simulation. It's easy to make them stop emitting. That part's not hard. The difficult part is how to tell them that in an efficient way. I'm also trying to keep each one of these little code snippets as simple as possible. I don't want to use an event. I want to keep things very contained into their own little bubbles. So this is going to be a visual effects handler. This is what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my projectile here, open a fireball. We're going to remove this from the fireball. So we still have the particles here, and we have the fireball itself here, but we're going to do a visual effect handler, which I haven't done any of these ones yet. So that's fun. Visual, nope, wrong button. Go to file, visual effect handler. So we have a basic visual effect handler, which does, well, nothing, and it's actually incorrect because it's supposed to be similar to the other behaviors. It's supposed to be based off of projectile behavior. So now it is. And no. Yeah, so we have all of these same options now that we have here. So visual effect handler on the basic one's just going to be particles. So we're going to say public, well, no. We might add more to this base one, but we're going to do a projectile particles. is a visual effects handler. Excuse me. And we're going to need these bad boys up here. We don't need the create asset menu for this one, though. All right. And we're going to do new projectile particles effects. And basic projectile system, visual effects. Behavior. All right, we'll make it behavior. Visual effects behavior. And while we're here, moving behavior. Originally, these did not have a extra sort of a directory in these. All right. And then what do we do in this particle effects? We need a public game object particle prefab. And then we're going to need a public. No. Not the prefab. This will be on the prefab. Right? That's what I'm thinking. I think this will be on the prefab. So we're going to do public. Particle system. Disable on destroy equals new particle system 0. I'm gonna make it a list. And public enable on destroy. Yes, that sounds great, actually. Destroy on destroy. All right. Put enabled at the top. So tooltip, these particles will be enabled when the projectile is destroyed. And will be destroyed along with the projectile. And disable emission. These particles will stop emitting on destroy. All right. On our do destroy, we're going to do for each particle system in enable, set them active. Each in disable, particle system stop. And destroy, we're going to destroy them. Perfect. Thank you, AIs. You just saved me a fair amount of time. You earned your $10 as long as this works. Now I do need to move this into its own class. Now that I've done that, I can go and create one of these. So we're going to do a new folder here called Visual Effects Behavior. Create projectile system, visual effects particle, projectile particle effect. And we're just going to fireball. Oh, interesting. 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 How are we going to do this? Because we can't actually put the game objects here. How are we going to do this? Let's see. This is a scriptable object. It's going to be an instance at runtime. But that doesn't help. Completely, at least. Okay. Slight change, slight change, slight change. It's going to be public game object. Yeah, okay. Particle prefab, and then public override launch. And then we're going to do if particle prefabs equals null, then we'll return. It's not set up. And then set parent to the projectile, and that's fine. Okay, and then yeah, so we'll do that. Let's comment this out for now. We're gonna do a similar thing, just slightly different. Similar yet different. All right, so our fireball is gonna have our fireball. Particle fireball. Is the right one? No. There we go. This one. And then let's press play. See it go, and good. No particles. So let's make this work. And then we go to our projectiles, to our fireball. We have our basic projectile here. We don't have any visual effect handler, so we'll add that. Press play. See if it works. I already hooked this up. I don't think I already hooked this up. No, I didn't hook this stuff up. All right, so we go back here. Basic projectile, destroy behavior, visual effect handler. So we're just gonna add that here. If visual effect handler, set new trajectory behavior, visual effect behavior, visual effect handler. Call it handler. It needs to be behavior. All right. Visual effect behavior. It's going to be visual effect behavior value. Visual effect behavior equals set new behavior. Visual effect behavior as visual effect behavior. What this is doing is creating an instance of these. We don't want to change the scriptable object. We want to create an instance of the scriptable object. And so that's what this is doing. Set new. So we're taking in, we're saying our visual effects behavior is a set new behavior with that as being set. So in this, we're just creating a new instance of it, basically. All right. And then launch. This is where the AI comes in handy, isn't it? Because it just knows now. Yeah. It didn't know here. Maybe because trajectory behavior is not the lowest one. Nope. All right. Well, if visual affects behavior. There we go. I bet there's a way to combine these. What do you think? Is there a way to combine these so that I don't keep repeating very similar code? Let's find out. Let's see if I can learn a thing. AI actions, new chat. I'm doing a repeating pattern here. Is there a way to make this more efficient and not call such a repetition with only a few changes? List of these behaviors and looping through it. This would dry, don't repeat yourself, up your code. Here's how you can modify your code. List of behavior types. Interesting. Interesting. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is something. So right now I'm saying, hey, this is the movement behavior. This is the collision behavior. What if I didn't specify those are each ones. I just said, hey, for each, just throw in some behaviors. It's going to move. It's going to collide. It's going to destroy. I wonder who wrote the Book of Love. I haven't set this up with source code, or not source code, with backups right now. I know, I'm living dangerously. What does this say? Yeah. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Don't get some waterborne disease today. All right, that's exciting. Okay, so what I'm thinking then is that this can just be a list of all behaviors, and it just goes through the list. The AI may have taught me more than just a thing here. So in this world, we do this. This is really going to be behavior. What did I call all of these? Projectile behavior. Yeah. All right. And then we're just saying all these ons, we kind of just do this. So let's see how that works. I'm going to zombie code that for now. Not sure if that's an issue. I'm getting this warning. Is that an issue? I see. I mean, behavior can't be null. I mean, it could. I guess it could be null in the list, right? It could be null in the list. That's true. Then we don't need that question mark anymore. All right, so we're gonna try this. We're gonna take our fast one here, our simple forward missile, and my mouse, for some reason. Oh, this needs to be public. All right, then we're just going to put all of these behaviors in this list. And then press play. So change to our forward missile. It appears to be working. We did have this stay up there, so that's something to... Alright, so there's something going on with the disable or something destroy, because these are not being turned off properly. But seems like a solvable problem to me. That is interesting, because if this is the case, you don't even need to set what specific movement behavior, etc. So then there's a question, I guess, a question for the people watching at home. In one world, we could have basically a list of behaviors where all the behaviors are just in one big list here. In another world, the original world, we have, hey, this is the movement behavior. This is the collision behavior. Very specific, easy to understand too, I think, right? In a combined world, we could have a list of movement behaviors, a list of collision behaviors, a list of destroy behaviors. And that way, like movement behavior, you could have move forward, but you could also have movement behavior that makes it go up and down a little bit, I suppose. So you could have two different movement behaviors on the same object that combine and join together. And it would still be easily understood, okay, these are movement behaviors. In the code itself, it doesn't actually matter. The code itself will run through essentially this type of list, but it will do it on this for each behavior and movement behaviors and each behavior in this behavior. It will just do that. It doesn't matter in the code. It's really more for the person setting it up in the editor. Do you have thoughts? I have thoughts. I think I'm going to do it like this. Travis says, yeah, the list is nice, but hard to follow unless you have the element name. Yep, I'm agreeing with you, Travis. Oh my gosh. I bought this house and I sing a lot. I sing a lot on my own, just randomly. I don't even notice it probably. But I'm renting out a room soon. In about a month, a guy's going to be living in a room. I think it means I can't sing as much, right? Because I can't walk around singing with random people trying to sleep, I guess. It's going to be a change. We'll see how I like it or hate it. All right, so we're going to do all this. And in our movement behavior here, we'll do that. And we'll do, come on, AI. No? No? AI? No? Our behavior. Okay, there we go. Now the AI is doing its thing. Let me think. Because I'm also now realizing at this point I'm not making this code smaller. I'm making it larger, but it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. So the trigger enter only does it if we get the right collider, if we collide. Same with the collision. And the tick is mostly the same, slightly different. Hey, Tech Dave. How are you? Tech Dave says, wouldn't it be allocating a lot of memory for each projectile? Hard to pool objects? In what way? What do you mean? Every projectile has, yes, there are a lot of lists, but I don't think that will make extra memory issues, will it? Yeah, I think eventually I'm going to have at least a pooling example, I suppose. But yeah, each projectile object in the game would have its own, list of things. But these are things that you can change. That's an important bit, is that you could always add to a projectile or remove some behavior, right? So let's say you've got a missile defense game and you've got an incoming missile and you're able to, I don't know, cast a magic spell on the missile that makes it kind of wiggle around. So that would be adding a movement behavior to an object that's already in the scene. And that would just be adding it to this list, and then that would be included in that list. So now it would wiggle a little bit too. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let's see if the forward missile works. Appears to work. Now, I don't expect the magic missile to work. Nope. There you go. All right. So, let me quickly set up the magic missile and the fireball. And then we'll see what issues need to be fixed. And then we'll test this concept of adding a multiple movement behaviors. And then we can even, I don't know. All right, and then the last one is the fireball. Add the fireball effect. Press play. Well, the fireball effect's not happening yet, but we got something going on here with this. That's interesting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now you know why I have had this debug up here. Hit count is 14. That's not right. That means the instance isn't working. And that's because, like a goober. Okay, first I've got to fix that. I got the destroy behaviors after 3 hits. To fix that, reset, just comment it out, save it, uncomment it, save it. I think that will reset it. And then what I forgot to do in our this is down here. Or actually, I guess up here in the initialize area. Oh, and I didn't do the launch either. I just saw this and stopped. How rude. How rude. What TV show is that from, everybody? How rude. All right. And the launch. Forgot to do the launch again. All right. Let's see if that works. Do, 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 do. The initialization thing seems to still be an issue. Are we actually initializing it? Set new destroy behavior. Ooh, interesting. Nope, we are not. So this has to be changed now. And these have to be changed now. So instead of setting new, I'm going to not destroy these yet. I'm going to copy them, and we're going to change these up a little bit. They're going to be get new movement or set create instance of movement behavior, since that's really what we're doing here. And we're going to be returning a value such as these. And then this can be renamed to be create instance of behavior. All right, and then up here, create instance of movement behavior, create instance of collision behavior, instance of destroy behavior, create instance of trajectory behavior, and create instance of visual effects behavior. I still need to just fix that though. Hopefully it's 26, 27. It's not. All right. Well, let's. Why isn't it working? Oh, because we're not doing the assignment. We're not actually assigning it. Behavior equals. How can we fix that? AI. In this area, we want to assign the return value of create instance of to the behavior object, replacing it with an instance of it. Do you understand? What is going on here? Huh. Well. Well. All right. All right. Let's whoops. Let's copy all of this over. And see if that works. So we'll know it's working if the hit counter stays the same. Oh, there we go. In this case, it resets to 0, which is exactly what I was hoping it would do. All right, so it's working. So now each one of these will hit 3 times. Something 3 times. They could hit the wall or the target, and the thing's getting destroyed. Everything's just working. Wow, is it really just working? Are we all just happy-go-lucky campers now? Fireball seems to be working. We can get back to figuring out how to... What started this whole mess was this fireball lasting, staying there. We don't want that there necessarily. All right. All right. It's been a couple hours, and I need to go to the store. So this is good. I'll tell you why. First, I'm going to stretch. All right. So the big thing here is that now, this is a great improvement, I think. Now our behaviors, in fact, we can even, I'm going to go just a step further here. We're going to comment out this section. We don't need these. The effects modifiers we might bring back. Has trajectory behavior is going to be if any of them are not null. Comment out the code that we're not using rather than doing this return thing. We're not using spawn particle either. I don't think I'm using whatever the heck this was. Okay. I will de-zombify this at some point. Uh-oh. Does this work? I think we're gonna have to. We have to separate the trajectories to a pre-launch trajectory and a active trajectory, which we have active. Yeah, we have active already. What we need is has trajectory behavior and then public Okay, so the pre-launch directory is not null, and that means spawner ticks. I'll have to modify this a little bit, I think. Because yeah. All right, I'll do that later because the whole thing is the trajectory that happens pre-launch. So that's the Angry Birds arrow. You know, just some visualization of what will happen or might happen is really separate from any active particle trajectory. That's where, hey, this missile is coming at it and it shows a trajectory live while the missile is moving. That's a different thing. And so I'm going to separate that out so that there is a pre-launch trajectory as well as a trajectory behavior. So in this case, this forward line is really going to be here, and there's going to be no trajectory at all at runtime, or not runtime, at when it's live for the fast line forward missile. So there you go. So that part's working. There's just some nulls because it's looking for that or something, but I'll figure that out. It shouldn't be hard. But that way it's separated out, so you can, it's more clear that way. So there you go. So that's it. I'm gonna go to the store. I gotta buy my nephew and niece probably a book or two at Barnes and Noble. So there you go. I will see you all later. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Come to the Discord, and you know, I appreciate your support. If you buy any assets, I appreciate it. Come to the Discord. Don't forget to write a review. I appreciate that too. It's very difficult to get people to write reviews. So if you do write a review, I will appreciate it. So thanks very much. Have a great day.